Before we can be powerful as creators, what do we need to be?
Alive.
Thank you. Who said that? Good. He graduated. Oui. It's basically the other drawing, but a little clearer. So, this is a person. This is you with the name and the journey. This is the one that would ask, why me? Why me? So just for context, we were talking about karma a little earlier, and I wanted to explain karma as being full circle, being guidance, being benevolent. Karma is benevolent. Karma has nothing to do with you shot somebody in a previous life, therefore you need to be shot. It has nothing to do with, it's got nothing to do with payback. It's got nothing to do with you've been bad, now you need to learn to be good. Okay? It's got everything to do with understanding, completing the understanding, completing the puzzle pieces that the soul is seeking for to become a complete enough puzzle to where it can merge back with the one infinite creator in its consciousness. So far, does that make sense? Sort of? To some extent? Okay. So karma is yourself. Karma is yourself seeing that there is a piece of understanding missing. Now, one expression of that might be that maybe in an, let's call it a parallel life. So just imagine another, well actually, let me draw that. By the way, HM stands for, not the clothing line, but higher mind. Thank you for your question. Parallel self. So for those who have trouble reading, the one infinite source is what this says. Soul is what that says. Higher mind, higher mind. Veil, this black line represents the veil separating, not separating, but making the physical experience so seemingly isolated from knowledge, from inspiration at times, from the connection to source, from the obviousness of how everything is one big pile of love and interconnected infinite abundance. So everything below the veil is muddy, unclear, dependent on points of view that are very separate based, that are based in the society that you grew up in, etc. Here is, again, the you that you would name. The higher mind rests in the non-physical. The higher mind, as you see, it's beyond, it's below the level of the soul, so to speak, where the soul includes all your lives, all your parallel lives. Again, time is an illusion, so really, there is no past life, there's parallel experiences, right? So this is the one you are over here now, but you have parallel experiences, whether it be in this society, in 1942, in 4021, on a different planet, somewhere else, in a different galaxy, whatever it may be. The soul is always looking to complete its journey. If you're familiar with my teachings, I won't do it here because it'll become too messy, but you can even picture first density, second density, third density, fourth density, fifth density, sixth density, seventh density, eighth density. Okay? You could sort of make that separation for yourself. Where the veil is somewhere around fourth density, between third and fifth density, depending on the relevance of that theme. So third density is definitely below the veil. It's the most physical, intense, separated experience. It's what you know yourself to have gone through in previous years or lives or whatever, depending on your journey. So non-physical, everything below this veil is physical. Higher mind rests at a fifth density vibration, if you will. So it's got a very big overview of your life. It's got a very big overview, and it's very connected. Here, let me draw this. Everything above this line is extremely connected, like connected in a way that we can't even really imagine. So all knowledge here is really available to each of these aspects of consciousness. It's just below the veil that things become clouded and obscured. Okay, let's see. Let's try to bring some order into this conversation here. All right, so the soul is on a journey, right? That's why I drew the soul too, and something above the soul. The soul is not the end game here. The soul is, in a sense, the end game for the person, but for the soul, it's not the end game. The end game for the soul is to merge back with the one infinite creator. It's to become such a full expression, such a balanced expression of love and wisdom, love and light, such a complete holistic understanding of what it's like to be a portion of the one infinite creator, that it is, in a sense, ready to merge with the awareness of all that there is, and beyond that, in a sense, soars. So the soul is on a journey. This is crucial to understand if we want to understand the conversation of karma. Because karma, as seen from this point of view, is always going to feel like a bitch, right? I like Muji's definition of karma. I think he said once, karma is like farting in a spacesuit. which corresponds with, it's just you inside the spacesuit. Whatever you do, you're going to have to deal with. If it's only one infinite universe, if you kill somebody else, you're killing yourself. Not that killing is necessarily inherently bad, because we kill all the time, and it's okay. Nature kills all the time. But it's that certain acts are simply out of alignment, or are motivated by a point of view that is not in alignment with the holistic view that the soul either has already achieved or desperately wants to achieve through your experience of misalignment/alignment. Every experience is a slash. It's misaligned, but it's also aligned. It's to some degree it's misaligned, to some degree it's aligned, and that's a variable that kind of is your responsibility to align as much as you can, because that's what will bring you joy. That's where the guidance system comes in, the emotional guidance system. When we feel really solid, when we feel really good, really connected, it is because we are hinging on the side of alignment, not misalignment. But every moment, every experience, every expression has those two aspects. It can either be out of alignment or it can be in alignment. And that's the choice, that's the responsibility of simply being here, being human, for lack of a better word, just plain old being human. You feel good when your actions, your speech, your thought, your feelings are in alignment. Well, not feelings, because feelings are an indication of how in alignment you are, right? So, but the thoughts and the beliefs and the actions and the speech, if they are in alignment, you feel really good, because you're actually, you're lining up. This is alignment. It's an align. It's alignment. So when you are aligned, you start to feel connected. You start to download the sensation of what it's like to be beyond the veil. Have you experienced that? Just even glimpses. Doesn't mean that you see everything. It just means that when you are really in alignment, you feel the power of this backing you up. You feel invincible, at least to some extent. You feel indestructible. You feel fearless. You feel confident. You feel like a powerhouse, like you're going for it, right? That's because when you are aligned, all of this is backing you up. There's a little hole here that you penetrate. There's a little hole, little black hole, little tear in the veil of the illusion of third density. That's why we want to be in alignment, because it allows for the most super accelerated, most excited, and yet most peaceful and motionless life at the same time. When you're really in alignment, you'll be simultaneously motionless and super accelerated. Sometimes seemingly more of the other, or one of the other. Sometimes you'll experience yourself as really peaceful, really connected, really stable, really grounded, really spacious. And sometimes you'll experience yourself as really animated and really expressive and really creating, flow, meeting people, doing stuff, creating stuff. But those are not necessarily two different things. Alignment is alignment. They may just express themselves experientially differently. But when you are really grounded, when you are in yourself, right? Not on earth, but in yourself, which includes the earth. But then you are also super accelerated. When you're really peaceful, things are happening with or without your conscious knowledge, with or without your conscious doing. And in a sense, that is the ultimate. In a sense, I mean, it's hard to say this is the ultimate, because it goes against true simultaneity. Everything is the ultimate. Every expression is an expression of the one infinite creator. So one is not worth more than the other. However, when we are really centered, really in alignment, really spacious and free, and we're not really necessarily feeling like we're running around getting shit done, somehow still shit gets done. Somehow still things align. We shift parallel realities. Magic happens. Conversations go completely unexpected in the best possible ways, etc. So we're creating from a space of alignment. Again, sometimes that alignment may feel like peace. Sometimes that alignment may feel like running your ass off. But either way, it'll feel really connected. It'll feel really nourishing. Because when you're in alignment, soul and higher mind, everything non-physical about you, and ultimately the one infinite source, is allowed into your system, quite literally allowed into your body. It's allowed to animate your body. This is why healers can read energy, can read whether you're aligned or not, and in what ways you're aligned. Well, anyone can do this, really. It's not It's not some kind of difficult trick, but it's because actually, in a sense, your body is, to some extent, a signifier. It allows the radiance, the output of your body, can give clues into how aligned you are, right? So, and then these adjustments can be made to the energy body, and therefore it will have results in the physical body, etc. Your body is the vehicle which displays to yourself if you're in alignment or not. Because if we're out of alignment, first we'll get hints of that in the mental body. Then we'll start to get hints of it in the emotional body. And when we don't pay attention to that, when we don't clean that up, it will start to be transferred into the physical body as physical catalyst. That's not to say that every single physical ailment is the result of you being out of alignment. Sometimes things are simply relevant for the soul to experience. You can say that someone that is born handicapped was out of alignment while they were in the womb. Maybe that's possible too. It is possible for someone to be out of alignment while they're in the womb, due to circumstances, due to energy influences, infringement, you name it. The mom, the dad. But there's no guilt anywhere there. The soul knows that that's what it's choosing, or at least that that's the highest probability that it's choosing, right? So there's no question of victimization anywhere in this universe. If there is, in your mind, you're out of alignment, period. If you don't get why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, the only reason that you feel that way is because you don't get why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. It's not because you actually want something else. It's because you don't understand it. You don't have the clarity that the higher mind has or the soul has. So what we want to achieve, what we want to establish in our lives is for this person to be as transparent, as devoted, as committed, as surrendered as possible to the true intention for this life from the soul filtered through the higher mind. What do I mean by filtered through the higher mind? The higher mind is your guide. The soul pertains to all persons, all manifestations. It's the big father or the big mother, however you want to call that. It's the hand of the extensions. But each life, in a sense, comes with a personalized higher mind, a non-physical counterpart that has access to the time/space realm instead of the space/time realm. Time/space means where time comes first, and space is an aspect of that. So, in simpler words, the non-physical. Okay, so the higher mind is non-physically oriented, so it can see much more. It can see parallel realities. It can contact parallel selves, download, upload information, exchange. Is this one going through a really hard time? This one's sort of like just sitting on a couch, not doing very much. You may transfer some of the learnings to this one because it can handle a little bit more at this time. It's a company. It's an organization. Your soul is the CEO of your company. You're just one employee of your company, of your soul intention to grow, to complete the soul's understanding. Make sense so far? Okay. So, every question of why me is a manifestation of not understanding why what's happening is what's happening. It's that simple. So there's two things you can do. Either get it, either understand why it's happening, or if that seems impossible in the moment, surrender to the fact that it's happening out of benevolent free will. You are choosing it somehow. You may not like it, but since you can't get clear on why it is that you're experiencing what you're experiencing, apparently in that moment you're either not meant to, or you haven't had the training to, or it's just not relevant to. But if you can't get clear on why it is you experience what you experience, which you don't like to experience, surrender. Fuck you. Fuck you. Be this. I don't care what you want. Be this. Or suffer your ass off. Choice is yours. You're going to suffer anyway as part of physical life, physical calamities. It's just part of the nature is to experience pain. It's okay. It's just part of life. It's part of this creation. You don't have to suffer about it unnecessarily, though. Either try to understand, get behind the soul's perspective so that this once again makes sense, is put back into alignment, and can now live its life fueled knowing that it's creating what it's creating because it wants to. not because it doesn't want to and it's just happening because karma is a bitch. Right? You see the difference in perspective? One is victimization, and the other one is very empowering. It's very connecting. So we want this perspective, not the perspective, oh, wait a second, I screwed somebody over with a business deal in this life, now I have to be screwed over. Because as soon as if that's your go-to understanding as to why something is happening to you, you're stuck, and you're going to experience that negative business deal because you've made up your mind about that. You believe that that's what you deserve because this is what you've gone through. But that greatly limits your ability to navigate through these situations and find a holistic understanding of what's happening.
So if you accept that you have created it at some level...
Do raise your hand before speaking.
If you accept that you have created it at some level and you have a desire to uncreate it and manifest something else...
Yes.
And you've not been able to do that. I mean, I have followed your work and done different things, different modalities, the best I know how. And is there a blind spot, or is it partly part of my soul's journey to have a blind spot, or is there something I'm not seeing?
Well, there is a blind spot, otherwise there would be no question.
Mm-hmm.
But where the blind spot is, or what's the nature of the blind spot, is the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is a blind spot. The blind spot can be largely twofold. It's either, or one of two options. It's either your belief system simply doesn't believe it can make the change, therefore it doesn't, and then we're not talking about positively focusing, we're talking about wishful thinking. If you have a belief that's not in alignment with the thoughts that you're thinking to create your reality, we're talking about wishful thinking. If your belief system is starting to line up with your new focal points, with your new points of view, the ones that you choose that are in alignment with abundance, I'm worth it, I deserve it, etc., then your belief system starts to line up with that new focus, with that new perspective. As a result, you're not wishful thinking, you're creating your reality deliberately. So either it's a belief system that's in the subconscious mind, you haven't fully shifted into believing the new perspective yet, even though intellectually you have access to something along the lines of the solution. Either that.
I think it is that.
You think it is that? Okay.
Well, even though...
Sorry?
I think it is that, but even knowing that it's that, I still don't know what it is.
Sure. So that's a very frequent situation. So I'll get into that in a second. But the other thing you have to ask yourself before trying to change anything is, why do I want to change it? Do I know for sure that I want to change it? Because if you do not want to change it, you're going to suffer trying to change it. It's not going to happen.
I absolutely do. I want to be able to walk and move and
I
travel.
understand,
Yeah.
but I still want you to ask the question, even though you've probably done it 1,000 times. Why do I want to walk? I get it from a very rational point of view, but the question is deeper. Why does person A want to walk? Why do you want to walk? That's an assessment. If you were born into a society where nobody was able to walk, you wouldn't want to walk. You wouldn't even know it's possible.
Well, just to be pain-free and comfort.
Okay, comfort.
That's another.
So, what's the discomfort giving you? What's the expansion on a soul level? What are you adding to your soul because of the discomfort? Or in potential, what could you be offering to your soul to complete it by embracing the discomfort perhaps in a slightly different way or a radically different way?
Well, my life is a lot of silence and solitude, which has made me go into deeper inner work. So that's been a byproduct of not...
So that's the kickstart. That's the kickstart moment. So when, so you're past that. That's great. The kickstart moment is when catalyst is understood and it's done its job. Catalyst is anything that causes you challenge or suffering or frustration or something that offers you a question. Either you can just blindly go through with it, or if something is complicated or it feels stuck or your body is acting up or you get health issues, it's the physical catalyst that allows you to then ask yourself a question. So it's catalytic. It initiates, it instigates questioning, reflection, self-reflection. Anything that is designed to cause self-reflection or introspection is what I call catalyst. And we've got plenty of it on this plane. So the starting off point is where that catalyst is used in the right way, or at least in the right general direction. So even if you don't understand it, at least it has caused a momentum in a new direction. You wouldn't have become as self-introspective had you not had that difficulty, correct? So that's one thing that you've already gained out of the physical discomfort. You've gained momentum in the direction of introspection, self-realization, self-actualization. It's why you're here. Without it, you would not be here, correct?
Probably I'd be getting distracted all over the place. Yeah.
Correct. So, beautiful. There's another nugget. Focus. The right questions. It inspires you to ask the right questions. Another way of saying that is, it inspires you to not waste your time.
It's kind of sad to think that given a choice I wouldn't. Even when I was healthy and mobile and doing sports and stuff, I was always interested in things spiritual right into my 20s.
But what was qualitatively different about it before and after? About your interest in self-reflection? What has changed? What has deepened? What has gained in understanding?
The only thing I can think of, the way to answer that, is that I stayed in a marriage way too long when I should have left it.
You stayed in a marriage way too long?
Way too long when I should have left it. I was miserable and I kept pushing it down and should. And my body everything was telling me, shouting at me. I didn't have the courage to leave. Yeah.
There you go.
So
did you leave?
Until I broke just 2 years ago I did eventually.
2 years ago. How long did you suffer about it before you made that call?
Many years. When I look back at it, I'm understanding it now.
Good.
Hindsight's always perfect.
Understanding.
Yeah.
Bigger perspective.
But then there's a voice in me says, it was meant to be. I was meant to be with this person, and the kids came out of it, 2 wonderful sons. And so, I don't know, I rationalize. And I don't know what it means.
That's fine, as long as the rationale lines up with the points of view of your soul. How do you know if they line up? How do you know if your point of view, your newly chosen point of view, is in alignment with the way that your soul views the experience? How do you know that that's in alignment?
Sorry, say that again, please.
So here's the person that's suffering, and then it starts to use rationality to come up with, well, I gave birth to 2 beautiful beings, right? Or bodies, rather. The beings already existed. But you gave rise to them having a physical experience. That's one reasoning to cope with the suffering that might be here. But how do you know if that point of view lines up with the soul? How can you tell?
I can't.
Well, you can. How does anyone in any situation know whether their perspective is in or out of alignment?
Oh, the emotional guidance system. Right?
Yes. So it would feel good. So does it feel really good to you when you think it was meant to be? Because
I wonder if these beings would have come into my life regardless.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I think of jumping back into a parallel reality, and I never got married, and I'm like, would I ever meet them or what? So I'm like, I get confused.
Okay, but even that is a physical point of view. It's attachment to 2 beings, which is okay, I understand. They're very close to you, obviously. As close as it gets, pretty much. So I get that, but that's the person's reasoning. I want to line up the person's point of view with the soul or the higher mind's point of view. Meaning you have to let go for a second to any attachment you have to human beings, and just regard this as a personal journey between you and your soul. What point of view could you have of your marriage that is in alignment with the soul? How does your soul view your choice to stay in that marriage? Or rather, how does it view it at present? What's the present point of view that the soul has of your present moment experience?
I learned how to take care of others very well.
Beautiful.
Sacrifice. I learned how to be loving, caring, and Now I'm learning to take care of me. a little bit.
Beautiful. Does that feel better when you say that?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
I'd like
So
to play
that can
tennis.
mean one or two things. Either the point of view is not in alignment, or the point of view is in alignment, but you have other points of view surrounding taking care of other people that you're tired of. You have other points of view that are out of alignment. And if you have a point of view that's in alignment, but it's surrounded with points of view that are not in alignment, you're going to stop that flow even if you know what that point of view is. It's like, yeah, I know, but I don't feel like doing it. Or, yeah, I know, but I don't
So if I
want
had
it.
total clarity and alignment, this could,
Sorry?
if I had total clarity and alignment,
Yes.
I could change physical structure, matter, bone, cartilage, and
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely.
so it's possible.
It's
Entirely
possible.
possible.
It's entirely possible.
I think, there's a doubt there, deep doubt.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you believe you're done with the lessons of the discomfort?
yes,
You do?
at a personal level, yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Does that feel good?
That I'm done with the lessons?
Yes.
Yes.
That you've extracted out of the discomfort pretty much as you can. Like you've gone through it, you've experienced it, you've learned your lesson.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Well, are you done because you don't like the discomfort, or are you done because you're now in a state of appreciation of it?
I can't honestly say I'm in a state of appreciation.
Well, that's
I'm
very
sorry.
honest of you. Thank you very much. That is crucial to do this kind of work. It's crucial that you are honest.
I mean, I can intellectually say it, but every time I get off a chair or a toilet seat, I'm not in gratitude for it.
Yeah, I understand. So, what could still be in there? And I'm sensing something regarding the past, perhaps your marriage. What have you not yet appreciated or extracted? What nugget of wisdom and gold and love and release and liberation have you not yet tapped into about this whole past experience? How have you not yet attained full total gratitude for the entirety of the experience? You see, if you have learned all the lessons that are contained in this, that serve its purpose due to the discomfort, you would be in a state of connected appreciation. You would feel this veil break down in that area of your life, and you would feel the support of the universe behind you. You would feel backed up.
I get glimpses.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that. Can you describe those glimpses?
Like when I'm following your retreats online or meditation or when I'm in nature.
Okay, but those are the permission slips. So what changes in you that makes you feel connected and backed up by the universe?
I'm definitely not focused on the pain. My focus is elsewhere.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Where?
I'm not even aware of it.
Well, that's okay.
It's a place
You-
of joy.
this you
joy,
is not so much aware of it, but you
Yeah.
are, so go back to that experience.
place of joy,
Place of
connection,
joy.
connection.
Because of
I-
what belief or thought in that moment when you're watching one of my retreats, for example?
Well,
What
you
is,
know,
what
I
is the
did your-
difference in perspective? What's the perspective that you gain from watching these videos that then puts you in a state of alignment? What is the perspective?
People, when I see love catalyzed amongst people and the love that you show in the retreats and stuff, I just find that very uplifting.
Beautiful. So what is the calling of your life? Have you seen the Boulder retreat?
Yeah, my thing was when I see love is all around, love is, my belief believes when love is catalyzed, that really uplifts me, and yeah. Did I say that right?
No, but that's okay. Your beliefs is a different exercise.
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, I don't care. You, the calling is, my calling is, it's not a belief. Your calling is more true than a belief. Your calling comes from the soul's intention for this life.
My calling is when I see love all around me and people. I just see love is all around. That really inspires me and opens my heart up.
Yes, can you see how your physical existence has contributed to you being able to be of service in that way? What if your reason for being here was not to run around and be a top athlete?
Well, no, I was never an athlete. I mean, I just...
No, I'm saying right now, why is that not your purpose? No, sorry. Let me put it this way. What if that has never been your purpose? What if it has been your calling to be a catalyst for love?
What if, sorry, say it again?
What if your calling is to be a catalyst for love?
Okay.
Okay.
I can relate to that.
I could get down with that. Yeah.
I can relate to
That's
it.
all right.
I'm not saying I'm successful with it, or I end up being angry and fighting with most of the relationships that I have.
That's okay, but can you see the ways in which you have attained love for yourself and others? How are you spreading love? If I were to ask someone else in your life, would none of these people say that they... Would none of them say, like, she has shown me greater love? It's hard to get outside your own self-perspective, huh? But do you not think there's anyone in your life that would not say that? Is there anyone in your life that feels enhanced or like they've gained a deeper understanding of love because of your presence in their life?
Yes, I think my 2 sons probably. They would say many things, but that would be one of them.
Yeah.
That would be one of them.
Yeah, there you go. So what does it make you feel like when you share love, when you see love?
That's it. I mean, that's everything.
That's it.
It's everything.
That's it. How can you utilize what you are today on a physical level to execute the it? Are you limited? Are you prevented right now from sharing love, beaming love, radiating love, letting people know they are loved? You can remember this.
I don't think I love myself.
Sorry?
I don't think I love myself.
You don't love yourself?
I think that is a big obstacle. I mean, I'm doing better, and I make affirmations. And
What's your self? What's the self you don't love?
I think it's the person. Probably, I mean, the soul is love, right?
The person. So you have observations about how you're not in alignment with your soul, right? And that's what you then don't like.
Okay.
That's not that you don't love yourself, it's that you make an observation. Now maybe because of the way you've been trained mentally, you start judging it. You start not loving yourself. But it's really impossible to not love yourself. It's really impossible. And it doesn't matter, you know what? It doesn't matter if you love yourself or not. That will come. It's a process. Don't make it too much about you. Same with the physical body. Don't make it too much about the body. Sure, eat as healthy as you want to and can and all that stuff. But you have to understand that the vehicle is an expression for your calling. If you get this one straight, you'll get all the other ones straightened out as well. So what's your calling? What's the intention for this life? What's the original intent of your life, of this life? Because this one has a slightly different original intention. But what's this one for you, specifically, uniquely for you?
It sounds like a tall order, but I always feel I want to be a source of light and love.
Yes.
A radiant source of, that's what I would
How
like
is
to
your
be.
how is everything you've created in your life perfectly conducive to channeling that intention? Are you likely to get distracted by going to parties and dancing?
I hope this Saturday.
Great. In your present condition, is that something you think about on a daily basis?
Not at all.
Let's go out and party. Let's go and bowl.
No, not at all.
Bowling.
No.
What?
I do like traveling, but not at all. No, that's not. But I could have been, in my earlier years, been distracted by all that.
Exactly. Well, but you're not, right?
No.
You could hypothetically, I'm not saying this is what you should do, hypothetically you could sit down for the rest of your life and do nothing but beam love and light. Oh, wait a second. I don't have to heal myself and run a marathon? I could just sit down and beam love and light? You could. And in
You
fact,
just validated my life. No, I'm joking.
Good.
I'm joking.
Well, no, why would you be joking? I hope you're not completely joking.
No.
If you were to do that, even just for a while, just commit to, like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to try and run around over here. It'd be nice to get off of the seat more easily, of course. I respect and love the person in me, the personal side of me, that would want that for itself. out of sheer desire for comfort. It's part of the genetics of being a creature, of having a body. We seek comfort, we avoid discomfort. It's okay, respect that, appreciate it. You do not have to be too distracted by it. It's just part of the nature of physical reality. Don't take it too seriously.
But it is entirely possible to heal it totally.
Or you told that to you? Yeah, you don't believe it yet?
No, I need the reassurance.
Yes.
Yeah. I just needed you to look me in the face and
Any
say
condition,
yes.
any condition is reversible. Any condition, no matter what its stage is. It's not always probable or relevant, but it's always, always possible. And you will know that when you connect to your calling, because when you connect to your calling over here, when you become an embodiment and an expression of your calling, and it may not look like running around easily, it may look like sitting down, doesn't matter. But you are never prevented, no matter what the condition of your life is, you're never prevented from executing, from being in the vibration of your soul, of your calling, of the original intent for this life. If you would be in any way, shape, or form incapacitated to be an embodiment, a radiator of your calling, you would be. Thank you.
So karma is really a function.
Are you alive?
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. What did you say?
Karma is basically a function of being unconscious. The minute you're conscious, then it's the vertical alignment, and then when you're unconscious, it's more like the horizontal alignment, isn't it? Just a thought from what you've said, and I'm thinking, all those years I wasn't conscious, even though I was interested in things spiritual, I was not conscious. So I was.
That's okay.
I was in automative mode.
I get it. It's a good thought. Even if you're conscious, you might still have to experience something. Because even if you're conscious of it, doesn't mean you've learned the lesson necessarily. Unless by being conscious you mean you've completed the lesson, then yes. That aspect of karma or benevolent choice starts to disappear, disintegrate, reintegrate, dissolve, whatever. Are you alive?
Yes.
In this moment, even though you probably can't get up or can't start running from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, you can, it's possible, but it's unlikely.
But I have a Tesla.
It's
right?
possible.
With the Tesla?
You are a Tesla. You can literally, if you understood the rules of the universe and it was relevant for you to be an expression of that, right now, you could get up and you could be from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. It's possible. It does not go against the mechanics of space-time. Space-time is an illusion created inside of consciousness. So if it's relevant for you to experience that, you can totally do it. It's not impossible. It's totally possible. It's as possible as holding a microphone. Except this is what's considered normal in this range. In some realities, going from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds is considered normal. So it just depends on what collective you're a part of, etc. Not to get too distracted with that. You are alive, no? You have a physical body. You are physically present with some portion of your consciousness. True?
Yes.
Are you incapacitated from shining, beaming love light?
No.
Are you incapacitated from surrounding yourself with experiences where you see people light up in love and light?
No.
Awesome. So you are not incapacitated. Stop making it about you. Understand how tricky it is given the fact that this is so apparent to you on a day-to-day basis. You have to deal with it every hour of every day to some capacity. But you don't have to be physically focused as much as you are. There is techniques, there is ways around being so physically focused. Athletes know how to do that. You could be a different kind of athlete that has the same ability to focus and transcend the physical limitation, while this is still apparently here. You can have 80% of your consciousness be rooted here instead of 99% of your consciousness here and 1% there. You can switch that around. You can be aware of your calling, and only then will you be able to tell whether you truly want this condition or not. Because then you've utilized it to fulfill your calling. And that's when you have completed the lesson inherent in that catalyst. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable? Only if you allow your present condition to be a facilitator, a radiator, a channel of your calling. That is the solution to any kind of physical ailment. If you are presently utilizing your physical ailment as a means to only amplify your focus on what your calling frequency is, and you become an embodiment of that, and in all your interactions you share this, and you become this, and you see it, and you attract it, and you be it some more, and you be it some more, and you be it, and you share it, and you be it, you share it, you become it becomes it, people around you become it. If you utilize your present limitation as a way to catalyze this soul intention from expressing itself so much more fully, only then can this heal itself. Only then do you want to heal the self, because only then can you see it's not a limitation, it's an enhancement. If you were to be physically fit, you would be disabled from fulfilling your calling compared to how enabled you are to fulfill it now.
Say that again.
She didn't quite get it, so let me catch it. Your present condition, in your present condition, you are more enabled to fulfill your calling than in a physically fit condition. In a physically fit condition, which you think you want, which I'm arguing, I'm not arguing that you want it, but I'm arguing that you want it. And I care more about this, ultimately. If you were to be physically fit, as most people consider physically fit to be physically fit, you would be more disabled from fulfilling your calling than you are now. So you are actually the top athlete you're meant to be. Your body is in absolute pristine condition to fulfill its calling.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Does it make sense? You are not disabled.
Yeah, this is perfect for my soul's mission, is what you're saying.
It's perfect for your soul's mission. You have the fittest body you could have. It's perfectly healthy. If you were to be physically fit, as we call physically fit in our society, you would be diseased.
Disease spiritually, at a soul level.
Well, I have an illustration that might assist. That, like, what I invite is for you to inquire at some point if you might be stuck in a concept or perspective of what sharing love and light looks like, where it's not this physically fit, like you in your present state is the perfect vehicle for you to share love and light. So for example, I was just going about my day here, feeling good, but then I had my interaction with you earlier this morning. After my interaction with you, I felt a definite, palpable amplification of love and light around me. Like I felt touched, I felt just more expanded.
Thank you.
And that was in seemingly service to you, but your graciousness, your humility, but also your just vibe amplified. So it's as if like you're actually an amazing focal point for that. Most people, they just walk by everyone, but I could be like, you could be walking in the building, I'm like, oh, let me hold the door for you. Let me hold for you. Like, hi, Mama G. And just the glance you give me as I'm focused on you could amplify that love, you know? So in a way, that's a perfect magnet for people's attention that can be met with that ease and grace, and then boom, it blossoms.
Thank you so much. Thank
yeah,
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Exactly.
Thank
if you
you.
were to be all fit and slim and like super agile, people would be able to get around you. They would not have to face themselves around you as much in this way. But now, quite literally, it's more difficult physically to get around you, physically, because of the present condition of your body. So you're compelling. Your energy is compelling. So if you fill up yourself, am I still on?
Yeah, it's a little low.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Almost? Okay. So if you are able to fill up your physical being, your expression, with love light, and people can't really get around you and they have to hold the door sometimes to help you out, you're forcing them to be spending a little bit more of time in contemplation, whether conscious or subconscious, doesn't matter, still has the same effect, of spending time in the frequency that you choose.
Wow, thank you so much. So I'm not inconveniencing people, I'm spreading my love and light.
Yeah! And that's so beautiful to hear you say that out of your own realization right there. That's one of the sub beliefs that often. Yeah, it's the receiver, right? I think so. That's one of the main sub ideas that comes up in people that already feel perhaps physically limited or disabled in some way, in any way really, mentally, psychologically, relationally, Asperger, that kind of stuff. It's very easy for those kinds of people, for everyone really, regardless of what your tiny little issues are, to feel like you're an inconvenience, which is very closely related to I'm not worthy to exist. It's close to that. It's not quite to the extent, but it can tap into the energy, the Antichrist energy. Antichrist meaning when I say the Antichrist or the anti-thought, usually I call it the anti-thought, it's lack. And there's no graver lack idea, anti-thought, that goes directly against the one infinite creator itself, which is, I do not have the right to exist. And I'm inconveniencing people may not seem like the same thing, but it's borderline. It touches upon that energy, that frequency of the Antichrist. The Antichrist is within us. It's in our own lack beliefs. So when we believe we are an inconvenience to someone, we believe we do not have the right to exist, to some extent. So if you are physically the way that you are, and you've labeled that disabled, you've labeled that inconvenience to others, it's very easy to fill yourself with an energy of, I'm not really that interesting to exist here. I'm not really of interest to others. I'm not really that valuable, that worthy. I'm more of a burden than I'm helping. So if you can change that around 180 degrees, which you just did, you are now becoming an expression of your calling. And I've seen this happen so many times. It goes exactly like this. People doom themselves, they judge themselves in their present condition until they get the new perspective, they get the aligned perspective. And then suddenly their disability, their flaw becomes their skill, it becomes their perk. It becomes their source of connection, their source of being able to express themselves more fully than they could have in any other more preferred situation. It's just a matter of perspective. If you can line your perspective up with this, you'll feel self-love inevitably. That's why I say don't worry about self-love. Self-love can only come from a state of being connected to who you really are, the original intent of your life. So utilize this by appreciating yourself, by appreciating your condition. That's why I said in the beginning, do you feel completely grateful yet for it? From a scale of 0 to 10, how grateful did you feel before this conversation about your present situation? 3 or 4, okay, not bad. And how do you feel now?
6 or 7. It's
6 or
shifting.
7?
I can feel the
It's
ice
shifting.
has become water.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Oh, I feel like the ice has become water.
Ice is becoming water,
Yeah.
so she's feeling like a 6 or 7, you said?
Yeah.
Good. So 9 or 10 would start to go into the realm of steam, no? The malleability of the non-physical. The more you focus here, the better you'll understand why this is happening through you. You get that difference? It's not happening to you. It's happening through you. Everything is only ever happening through you. Nothing is ever happening to you. You are not the victim of anything within this realm. You are only and only the victim of your own desire, which makes it not victimized, which makes it what you want. You always have exactly what you want. You just got to change your perspective, align it with this, and you're healed. Instantly. Healed. Because your perspective is healed. The only thing that can be disabled is a perspective. You cannot be physically unfit to do your duty. It's impossible. If it was the case, you'd be dead.
Thank you so much. This has been such a... Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you all
Yeah.
for listening to it.
Well, thank you. Do you see how you have added to the existence of another 130 plus live streamers and post-recorded viewers? How you've added to their ability to be themselves? Do you see that? Do you see how valuable your body is as it is?
Thank you.
Would this experience have been created had you had this fit, agile body? Would it have been created?
No.
This moment?
No.
Not likely, right?
No.
Possible, but unlikely.
Right.
Especially not in this unique way that you've been able to communicate this.
No, thank you.
How many people feel genuinely touched or empowered by this story? Can you stand up? Wait. All right, it's okay. Cool, beautiful. Perfect. So thank you so much for completely accompanying this and completing what I wanted to share with us before the break. I appreciate the example. It's great. You're so valuable. You're gonna be I'm gonna become steam pretty soon. Yeah. Why? We wouldn't be able to like not get around you anymore. Just be like, where is she? Big body of steam. Excellent. So let's have a little break and be back here as soon as you can. So just make it a pee break. Don't linger anywhere. Be back as soon as you can, right? Within 10 minutes ideally. But let's start in 15 minutes on the dot. So 4:20.
And leave in the middle of our session, but so you don't have to get. Feel free to stay as long as
It's
you want.
okay. Can you hear me? Yes. Cool. So Ryan is going to lead the session. But I feel like just being here, so I'll just be here. It's. Can you hear me? Yeah. A little closer.
Yeah.
So this. So this is what that feels like. So So teaching is changing for me. Somehow it's not as exciting to do the presentation style teaching. It requires more and more effort for me to actually represent a particular overview or structure or modality. It's just feeling more and more tiresome. It just feels totally completed for my own being. So I'd have to, in a sense, to an extent, be inauthentic. In a way, I have to be somewhat inauthentic to even get up and answer a question. Or not always, not always. It depends on the energy. It depends on the question. It depends on perhaps what stage or mood I'm in that day. But overall, I've been noticing today, and I shared a little bit about that in the Boulder retreat. I don't know who saw that live stream or who was there, but it's similar. Like again, this morning I felt somewhat disconnected from the things that I was saying, and I'm saying them because I feel that that's the expectation with which you guys come here. That's part of the theme of the retreat. It's part of why you sign up. And I know some of you are just like, dude, just be yourself, just sit, say nothing if you want to. But I also know that there's a lot of people that appreciate the context and the systems and the diagrams, and it helps them really embody and integrate this material. So one of the probable timelines is that more and more I'll be moving out of teaching. I don't know, the basics sounds a bit denigrating, but that's not what I mean. Just the things that feel completed to me that I mean, it's all out there. It's in the academy, it's on YouTube, it's in the recordings, it's on Facebook even. So it's accessible, and it feels like, in a sense, sometimes a waste of my energy and my presence and my vibration to even be teaching these things that I've been teaching for years. And it's out there, if you're really curious, you can totally find it. The academy is free, so there's no obstacles anymore to that information reaching pretty much anyone with internet connection. So the book is out there, more books are coming. My point being that you'll probably over the coming months and years see more and more facilitation and implementation and integration happen by people such as Ryan. And there's different people that I'm connecting to now that will be able to teach different niches and contexts that integrate these teachings, so that I can just totally be as authentic as I can be during the retreats, because I haven't lost any inspiration to be with you guys. It's just the inspiration to be in presentation mode that feels tiresome to me most of the time. So it's a little more rare, the moments where I get lit up by a certain modality and that I share it and actually feel myself in it. It's more like, yeah, this is obvious, and I can put it into words again and give you this measly little version of it, but it's not the beingness of it. Does that make sense? So I need to honor that, and I do, but I also honor the intention for this retreat and the retreats that I've committed to. And the one in Holland is going to be, the description says it too, but it's going to include more silence, more like retreat style, almost more the classic kind of be together, like let's draw as much presence power into this room as we can. And we can do that here too, and we are doing that here too. This is all to say that you will notice a gradual change in my teaching style. And it's not that I've lost excitement for my own life. It's not that I've lost excitement about the value of these teachings or that I don't believe in them. It's not that I have lost excitement about being of service and being with you guys. It's just taking on a different energy. It's taking a different shape. So just want to give you guys a heads up on that, and so that you can also understand, perhaps if you sense, hey, it doesn't seem to be fully into it. It's not that I'm not, it's just that it takes a little bit more effort to share these modalities with you guys. So Ryan is excellent at explaining this kind of stuff and putting it into modalities and helping you guys integrate. And then, like I said, more and more people and facilitators will show up to do that. So there's going to be more of a combination. It's going to be more of a co-creation in future retreats, which I think will only add to it. But since I feel like being here for this session, I'm just going to be here. And Ryan is going to be doing what he does. And maybe I chip in if I feel excitement regarding that. But yeah, it's kind of an experiment in a way. Not even. It's just me being here, really.
And well, and I want to say it's not so much you not being into it, it's just the expression of how you're expressing this vibration, these teachings is just modifying, is shifting, is just evolving, is shaping itself. And so this is another opportunity to tap into the 99%. And I like this idea. In the past, I would do these more just solo, but I like this idea of Bentinho being up here because then he can just radiate. He can just do his thing, you know? And I'm here to like entertain you, sort of. But the tag team, we'll see how that goes. But just know that this 99% is always happening.
And know that a lot of this has to do also with my desire is to pass this on, not to the facilitators that then pass it on to you. Yes, there's that. But my desire is to pass it on to you, so that the source of it is generated inside of you, not in me, right? When it comes to these like empowerment principles especially. So yeah, you are the facilitator of this work. You are where it is created. It's not me, it's just like a blossoming over there and over there and over there. How can this teaching become alive in you? How can you become the teacher, the source of this material in your own way, in your own life? So that's really exciting to me. So retreats will take, and this is a natural course, I think, for all retreats and all of spirituality, all spiritual circles that are malleable and teachers that are malleable and not stuck in lineage and tradition, they will feel this sense of change, of co-creation. It's going to take on a different form. And there will always be the teacher representation. It's always going to be available for those that love that sort of devotional presence quality. I'm going to be totally available to that as far as I can see. But it's going to be alive in you guys. You're going to be disseminating this. You're going to be spreading this. These modalities, these simple little tools, it's going to become alive in you. So.
And that's where the application of these things come in. And so that's why I personally am so inspired by this type of work we're going to do, because it's the relational piece. You know, it's we live in this civilization for a reason. We're meant to bump into each other. We're meant to grow, to refine, to work with each other. And so that we all become these facilitators. We all become, like, in our own way, in our own life, in our own experience of reality. It's being able to settle into these energies with other people. So we're not sitting in our chair and having a personal experience, and we go home, and we're back in the relational realm, but we haven't practiced that. We haven't practiced relaxing into that. Because as Bentinho has shared in the past, when we have a physical experience, it gets filtered very quickly through the lower centers, then up into the higher centers, like the survival, am I worthy, am I okay, how am I in relation to other people? And then once that's relaxed, then it goes into the love, the expression, the wisdom, the insight. And often just the nature of survival, I would imagine that most of us have determined, probably unconsciously, that humans are the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And so that's where we just unconsciously tighten up. I could have a beautiful experience by the ocean, in nature, or maybe in a very specific context where I can just let my guard down. But as soon as a relational component comes up, I'm back here until then I can relax into it. So that's an aspect of these co-creation sessions. Another aspect is just to meet each other, to mingle, to have that experience of community, because we are a family here. And then what a unique environment to have this high vibe of people, or you could say these many people who are focused in the same way, that are focused in the same direction, that are kind of resonating in this similar paradigm, where we're all together in the same space to be, to share, to play. synchronicity is so heightened, or the permission slip for synchronicity is so heightened. And so I invite you guys to own this retreat. Like, this is your retreat. Demand value. And also be non-insistent so that you're able to receive the way your value comes. Don't be stuck in how you think the value is. Demand value. Say to me, to us, to the staff, if you need something, ask us. But really, it's to you and you. Because if we relax into ourselves, we know that this is all a projection in consciousness. Like, this is all me. Like, you are the stars of your own reality TV show. This whole retreat revolves around you. Who you sit next to at lunch, who you're in the elevator with. All of these things can be so significant if you choose that paradigm. And that revolves around, in a way, our intention for being here. So we're going to be talking about that a little as well. So first of all, who's having a fun time? Who's enjoying themselves so far? It is amazing. It's only like we've been here just half a day, and we're already getting in the groove. So let me just tune in for a second. I'm just seeing directions and timelines here. So let's take a moment and connect to ourselves, to why we're here, to our intention. So we're going to do a little bit of a meditation. You can close your eyes or you can soften your gaze. I invite you to take a few deep breaths. Just feel the air expanding your chest and your belly. Feel your feet on the ground. This ground, this place on earth we call St. Thomas. You made it. You're here. I imagine each of you went through a lot to get here. So for a moment, just reflect on what you did to get here and congratulate yourself. And if there were moments of challenge, whether you perceive you stayed in alignment and flowed through it with ease, or man, I got hooked there, holy cow, that was a good one. From this point, almost blow yourself kisses back to that, whether it was at the airport and your luggage didn't show up, or something at home trying to wrap up a last logistic before you could leave town. Blow yourself a kiss. Send yourself a little love from here. So I imagine that assisted you in actually getting here, just like your higher self is looking back and blowing you a kiss right now, nudging you in the most loving ways. And so now again, feel your feet on the ground, feel your butt in the chair. We're in this moment in time, this unique configuration. And we're here in this time moment looking ahead to 6 days together. 6 days that are like an open screenplay. You get to write it as you wish. The props department is standing by. The director of your show, which is your higher self, is standing by to contact other guest stars to show up in your experience. Already timelines are being altered. 3 hours from now, 3 days from now at lunch, who you might sit next to. That's in a resonance with yourself. So for a moment, just tune into what do you want in this retreat? What are your intentions for being here? And in a sense, more specifically, I invite you to tune into how do you want to feel when you're leaving? And see yourself, or feel yourself when you're leaving, this most epic version of yourself. You don't have to worry about whether this actually happens or not, but choose. There's so many options. There's so many parallel realities that are all infinitely, equally accepted and okay by life, by Creator. And just tune into one of them that's just so epic. You're feeling so lit up. What does a lit up, epic version of you feel like, look like? As you're feeling into this, notice if there's any places in your body that are also feeling this. Notice if any other senses are activated as you're feeling this. Now imagine yourself through this week, sitting in this room, going to lunch, being at the beach. And see yourself taking risks, playing full out, whatever that means to you. And you're so empowered with what feels good and what doesn't, that your no and your no thank you is strong and available. And your yes, more please, is strong and available. So as other people come into your experience in this reality show, which is the 6 days for you, again, I invite you to play full out. Approach someone you feel this little intuitional hit about. They have the power to say, yes, I would love to talk or meet or whatever. And they have the power to say, no, thank you. You don't have to worry about them. They'll take care of themselves. And so simultaneously, do you agree to take care of yourself? To honor what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So we all know everyone's an empowered creator in this experience. Now for a moment, tune in if you're aware of the theme of your life, different themes you're working with, the calling, you could say. And if that's not fully clear yet to you, that's fine. But see if that theme, see how that might fit, or really just sort of sprinkle that dust across the timeline of these 6 days. And then we can just be curious, like exploring life in curiosity makes it so rich, because then it's like, cool, this is what I want, this is what I'm tuning into, this is what feels exciting to me. I'm so curious how this is going to play out. I'm so curious how life will deliver this. And now for a moment, let your sense of self expand to fill the room. Or another way to say that is just be aware of the room, the ceiling, the walls, the floor. And then include the people as well. And just as we learn ourselves, Just notice if you felt excited when you included the people, or you felt a little contraction or a little nervous. Both are totally fine. We're just learning how we operate. And so, perhaps in your mind's eye, see the other physical people, but then now tune in to the non-physical counterpart. It could be like, almost like above, like the ceiling is the floor of this like dance floor above us. And our higher selves are hanging out together. Or whatever it is for you, just tune into this non-physical aspect of these other individuals, but also this collective energy we're creating. Because in a sense, we're creating an entity of itself. And this collective entity is also you, your energy, completely aligned with what's most beneficial for you. And now see yourself, in a sense, back in this room, and as if you're standing up out of your chairs and you're at some point in the room standing up, and you're standing in front of somebody else. But for this moment, you're not as concerned with the other person, but you're letting yourself just radiate. Right now, they're on a couple clicks of the dial, of the channel, of a different frequency domain. So this frequency domain, even though there's other physical forms, is completely yours. So you can just let yourself expand and feel whatever it feels like for you to be centered, aligned on it. Knowing you're fully safe, you're fully loved. And now with a couple deep breaths, we're going to include the visual component into our experience again. And I invite you to softly open your eyes whenever you're ready. There's no rush. But just to include the room around you into your experience as opposed to you going out anywhere to it. And perhaps wiggle your toes, move your hands. You can stretch your arms above your head slowly if you want. It's like we're slipping back into the seats of a car we really enjoy. And we're just getting used to the feel of the wheel, the seats, the pedals, and we're about to take it for a spin. So when you're ready, if you can put everything under your seat, if it's not already, and stand up and let yourself kind of come out from the rows a little bit, but just slowly, with this sort of this sense of awareness, just let yourself slowly explore the room. Just mingle around the room. I invite you right now not to really pay attention to many other people. Just to kind of stay in your space. You can shake around a little bit. Just feel what your body feels like as you go mobile. Perhaps feel your feet on the ground. And let your awareness just acknowledge what's below your feet, going into the earth, this place of St. Thomas, this beautiful nature, and going deeper into the earth. In a sense, just acknowledging the presence of this entity that we live on. Earth's love is this gravitational pull which keeps hugging you to it. Letting your awareness perhaps explore the earth below you, or letting perhaps those energies flow up into your body. You don't need to make anything happen, just see what feels natural. There's so much support. And now also, I invite you to just be aware of the space above your head. It could be simultaneously to feeling your feet or not, up to you. But just acknowledge the sky, the stars, the star systems, and those portals to these higher dimensional aspects of yourself. It's like you're looking through a little aperture point and you see this big you looking down, smiling. And then come to a standstill where you are. Just feel your feet on the ground, the top of your head, and just experience yourself as this nexus point, this meeting point, which is like the fingertip of God. You are such a unique experience to creation. This blending of the heavens and the earth. But really this independent, free agent entity unto itself. Such a unique contribution you are. This whirlpool of energies. And now open your eyes and keep walking around for a moment. And find yourself in front of one other person. Face them, and when you're facing them, you can close your eyes. And if you need a partner, raise your hand. Now keep your eyes closed. And just feel what you feel like. Keep your attention primarily with your own experience. Do you notice any differences between when you were quote-unquote by yourself a moment ago in a room full of people and when you're standing paired up with someone? And now let your awareness just feel out in front of you to just feel the other person, whatever that, like non-physically, whatever that might be like for you, whatever way you just sense the other person. And kind of like a wine connoisseur, you're just open to see what this flavor is. And also notice in your own body if you're feeling relaxed, maybe there's a fluttery energy, maybe there's an expansive excitement, or maybe there's parts of your body that feel tight. It's totally okay. We're just becoming aware of how we operate. Because so often we're influenced by things that are just a little bit below the surface. Perhaps your belly feels tight and your chest feels warm and fluttery, or whatever combination. Just take note. And when you're ready, we can open our eyes, and just with a silent acknowledgement, we'll move on to mingle around the room. And now let that digest, that experience you had. You can appreciate it. And then, like shaking an Etch-a-Sketch or like flushing a toilet, you let it go. And you're a clean slate. Just like when you're walking out of one conversation, about to start another one. Going from one meeting to another meeting with a breath, 2 to 5 seconds. Clean slate. And now find yourself in front of another person. And when you find a partner, close your eyes. Raise your hand if you need a partner. Over the person by the camera. Yeah. And if you don't have a partner, you can still just tune in to say the group. So you can still do the exercise. So now, what does this feel like? This is a different glass of wine. First, start with yourself. Notice how you feel. How your antenna feels. Then feel free to energetically just sort of explore the other person, or just say hello, or touch into the other person to feel what their system might feel like to you. And notice to yourself if this feels any different than the last person. Maybe the last person was a female and this person is a male, and you notice a difference. The last person was young and this person is old. We're just noticing. And now open your eyes whenever you're ready. And I invite you to make eye contact. And notice what that feels like. Do you still feel as open and relaxed and centered, or perhaps you might have popped out, so to speak, become aware of something a little different now that the vision is involved? It's all good, we're just noticing. Or perhaps the other person might be looking away, or they might seem like they're not enjoying themselves. Are you making a story up about that? And now for a moment, the person with the longest hair is going to go first, and you can just take a guess if you need to guess. And in a moment, the person with the longest hair is going to share, just being with you, I notice. And it's just sharing your experience. It's letting someone else into your world, your experience. It could be you're noticing within yourself, oh, I notice my belly feels like this. I'm noticing the room, whatever's in your realm of awareness. And then when you hear me say stop or ring a bell, then we'll come back to silence and then we'll switch. So just for like 30 seconds. So being with you, I notice, go. And you can keep going and noticing multiple things. No, no, no. All right, bring that to a close. And with a breath, let that moment go. And now the other person is going to share whether this now moment, it could be influenced by what happened, it might not, but in this moment, being with you, I notice. Begin. Bring that to a close. And with a silent form of acknowledgement, say goodbye and continue mingling around the room. And as you're walking, tune into your experience. You can reflect, digest for a moment. And then with a breath, when you're ready, clear your system, so to speak, in whatever way feels good. Now find yourself in front of another person. This time you can leave your eyes open or closed, whatever serves you feeling centered in yourself more. Raise your hand if you need a partner. And if your eyes are closed, I invite you now to open them. And just take in this being, this experience. Maybe this is so comfortable for you, and this is like one of the highlights of the event so far. And this could be one of the most challenging experiences of your life, perhaps. It's all okay. This is where we get to experiment and explore. So I invite you to explore resting your gaze upon this person, if you're not already, as opposed to penetrating them. We're going to turn the volume of our vision down, so to speak. Instead of relying on just our vision, usually most people in life have 95% or more of their awareness out of their vision, and they're not tuned into anything else in their system. So just let your eyes rest on the other person's eyes, and just see if you can feel perhaps your feet on the ground, your belly, your chest, your head. So yes, in a way, you need to take your attention off of the other person a little bit, seemingly. And if humans are the most dangerous creatures on the planet, it's like taking your eye off of a wild cat. And just see if you have that capacity to rest your gaze and have access to your system. These multi-dimensional antennae, giving you so many data points about yourself, about them, about creation simultaneously. This is an access point to the 99%. You can be aware of what's happening in your 5 senses, but you just turn the volume down. It's still there, it's still relevant, we still are appreciative of it, but we turn up the volume on these other subtle senses. And now be however feels good to you, whether your energy is more rested in yourself or your energy is more seemingly out to the other person. Just find your own little sweet spot in relation to this person. Because there can be a difference between my energy seemingly going out or almost like I'm inviting them in. It's a penetrative or receptive, a yin and a yang. This skill set alone has been extraordinarily valuable to me, to not be stuck in one modality like this, but to have the option to do either. And as you're looking at this other person, know that this person also has had a childhood. They've had epic successes. And they've had dismal, tragic seeming failures. They've had dreams, they've had hopes, they've had disappointments. And see if you can get a sense of this personality bubble that has this story of this lifetime. And also get a sense, if you can notice, what we could call their higher self as well. Maybe you feel that or imagine that above both of your heads, however that is for you. See if you can sense this bigger aspect of them as well. This huge non-physical component of them. And see if you can toggle back and forth. Focus on the personality unit with its history, its stories, its identity. And then focusing on the bigger aspect of being. And then in a moment, I'm just going to let you guys share together what your experience is. So you can gauge your time back and forth. I'll ring a bell at halfway through, but it'll be about maybe 3 minutes of just sharing whatever your experience is back and forth. Begin. halfway through. Bring that to completion. And with a form of acknowledgement to your partner, continue moving around the room. Being able to express what our experience is a skill like building muscle. We've been taught to talk about content, circumstances, logistics, but we haven't been as taught to be emotionally articulate or vibrationally articulate. And so just even that last little exercise about sharing with your partner, what am I feeling, what am I experiencing, noticing how it feels when the other person shares what they feel, that in itself is also cultivating these fourth density muscles, if I could say that. And I just did so. And now the last little thing we're going to do is just to assist with just having a permeable personal bubble, helping relax our personal space as well. And of course, everything I ever do, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I do invite you to just challenge yourself if you're just a little nervous or whatever. But simply, as we're just mingling around, just have contact with someone. And if you can continuously have contact, just maybe hand to hand, hand to arm, just as you're walking around. And if you can continuously have contact with at least one person, cool, but the room's big enough, you might not need to. So just walk around and you can just sort of touch hands or just brush somebody's arm or their back. Nice. And then let's form a circle just around these chairs. It could be kind of tight, but just like, from here going around, you don't have to hold hands necessarily. You don't have to be beautiful. If you want to, please do. But it's just so we can talk a little bit and kind of see each other without getting in our chairs. And you guys can fill in this area as well. That was really beautiful to watch. And so I wanted to take a few moments as we're closing to see if there are any shares of your experience anybody would like to share with the group about your personal experience, but also something you think might, benefit the group. But really just keep it to your personal experience. And Gia, could you come here, please? And be the mic runner. So does anybody have an experience they want to share with the group? There's somebody over there. Thanks. And we're just going to do a few of these because we have the rest of the retreat to connect and share.
I feel within the entirety of the group the similar deep desire for unity from such almost an innocent, effortless place, that child state, where there's almost the maturity of the knowing of one another and the journeys, but also the effortlessness and the natural joy, and almost the simplicity of that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I'm going to let you hand it to the next person, whoever that is. Anybody else have a share? Or you can go over to them, either way.
It's just short and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet. And say your name. How about that also?
My name's Wendy.
Cool. Hey, Wendy.
And I feel the layers of my own illusions just falling apart and feeling my inner self rising.
Mike, yeah.
Inner self rising as my illusions are just going.
I imagine that feels good. That feels you're like relaxing.
Yeah.
You're settling. Beautiful.
But going up at the same time.
Beautiful. Thank you. One more. You can go over to her over there. Should you raise your hand again? And what's your name?
Helena.
Helena.
Wow. I've never been in the middle of this energy. It's feeling at home, and at the same time it's so much. It's so... I feel so joyful here. It's unbelievable. And since the moment I came in, I'm only laughing and having fun and feeling so at home. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. And you can leave the mic with that guy looking at the camera. Thank you. That's Max, everybody, by the way. So, thank you, everyone, for playing. And I have actually one more question. Does everybody here agree to or willing to play full out, whatever that means to you, but to play full out? If so, raise your hand. And you agree to honor yourself and honor others, whatever that means to you. Honor your intuition, what feels good, what doesn't. Now look around the room. Everybody's agreeing to play this game. So that gives you permission to play this game. So we're on break. Enjoy the resorts, and we'll be back here 8 o'clock for Bentinho's last session of the day. Enjoy.